This is a slightly different page in that I attempted to do some shaker pockets in the middle here. Sort of kind of worked. Day 16, I was packaging up Stacy's Happy Mail. Day 17 is this pocket and these two side pockets. As you can see, it's more Pokemon Go. Their Halloween event started. The Halloween event is always very fun. They had a fully costumed Pikachu, which was new. They also had a couple of the starters that were costumed. They usually only have, if they do a special, quote-unquote, costumed, usually Pikachu, it's wearing a hat. So to get it in a full costume was pretty cool, and it's very cute. It's dressed as Mimikyu, which is a Pokemon that wants to be Pikachu, so that just is, like, ridiculously adorable. And this was a new Pokemon released for this event, and this was a shiny version of this particular Pokemon. It's normally like a dark blue, like almost black, navy blue color, with a red feathers there. So it's a very good shiny because it's a very different color from its normal one. So I was very excited to get that. On this side, again, the other side of the shaker pocket. The 18th, I changed my profile picture for the first time in over a year. Again, using the Facebook Messenger filters. I said, new profile picture, I'm so good at filters. The 19th, I just used a prompt, which was glue in some colorful leaves. I wasn't about to put in real leaves, so I just used a bunch of these cardstock leaves from my stash. Just have a filler journal card there. And then for the 20th, I just have a screenshot of the basis from Walk the Moon. He posted a bunch of videos in his Insta story of him and his wife's family, I believe it was his wife's family, carving pumpkins and stuff, and he said, I love October, damn it. So I said, same Kevin, same. 21st, it's pretty straightforward. It was election day, and then I saw a pretty tree on the way home. This part of the page is a little wonky, but on the 22nd, I was watching Chandler Riggs, who played Carl on The Walking Dead. He started to stream The Walking Dead video game on Twitch, so I was watching him do that. It was kind of funny. He's on to season 2 now, but it amused me. And also the conservative leader lost the election, which is all I could really hope for. And then 23 is, again, Pokemon Go related. Again, they did a raid hour for this raid boss, and I was able to go to that, and then I got a shiny Ghastly, which is extremely rare, although this was during the Halloween event still, so it was more frequent, but yeah, it's a cool one because it's normally black and dark purple, and instead it is dark purple and blue. Day 24, I got my flu shot with my Shoppers Drug Mart branded Band-Aid, which makes me laugh every year. And then I also posted my Halloween mini album video. I just have this cut apart here with a bunch of glare on it. There we go. It says Black Cats Prowl and Pumpkins Gleam, may luck be yours on Halloween. This is the 25th. This was a sign. I had an appointment in the public bathrooms at this building. This sign was on the inside of every stall. This type of sign shouldn't be necessary, but it is, because people are gross. The fact that they actually commissioned professional signs is both funny and very sad. 26th was a kind of unexpected Michael's haul. I've been trying to avoid Michael's even with the Halloween stuff, but they had the paper pads, the 12x12 paper pads, the hot buys on for buy one get one, and then the Halloween stuff I think had gone on clearance for 60%. And I picked up one of these packs of gems that you saw me get in Happy Mail from Stacy. And then you see here I have this picture after I had divided all the gems up. Day 27 was another rather boring day. I just did some meal prep and worked on my album. A lot of this page is filler. Just have some filler cards there. Got a filler card there. And on this journaling card I wrote for day 28. Behold, the one and only house in the neighborhood that was really done up for Halloween. Which is this. It was really cool. It had all these decorations. It had like the projection of bats on the... And this was, like I said, this is the 28th. It's not even Halloween yet. And I thought of them on Halloween when it was, pouring all day. How much of this probably got destroyed or couldn't be used on Halloween proper, or nobody saw it because it was pouring. The 29th, I just documented how nice it was outside. I had an appointment in the area of Square One, and I was kind of hanging out there for a bit afterwards because the weather was so nice. I actually ate lunch outside, and I just hung out there and played Pokemon Go for a little bit. It's kind of one of the hot spots in the city, and it was really nice out still, so I just took some pictures. And then I have some, just some journaling cards. Journaling and filling up space. And then this was the day of the toilet explosion. Well, not really an explosion. I woke up that morning, I don't know how much of this I've told already. I woke up that morning and I could hear, I sleep with white noise on, and when I got to the bathroom, which is not that far from my bedroom, I could hear water running, but it was not the sound of like water running elsewhere in the house like it normally would I'd be hearing, and I could hear it over my white noise blaring in the next room. Thought that was weird, but like the floor was dry where I was standing, and I think I looked in the toilet bowl and nothing was weird there, and I was like, that's weird. And I had the lights up, like there was ambient light, but I didn't have the light actually turned on. And then as I went to sit down, my left foot landed in a giant puddle. And thankfully it was clean water, but basically the line between the toilet and the water pipe had sprung a leak and was spraying water everywhere. That's why it sounded like water was running, because it was basically running straight from the pipes through the line and out onto the floor and the wall. So I spent the majority of the day trying to get a hold of my landlords, and then spent the majority of the day swapping out pots, filling up with water. So that was fun. So again, on this last pocket page, we have the same problem we did with the first pocket page, where it doesn't want to sit flat, and my pictures are falling out. This is a screen cap from Kevin, who's the bassist for Walk the Moon. His Insta story, his baby was being delivered that day, and there's a screen cap of the picture he posted to announce it. She's born on Halloween. His daughter's name is Moxie, which is an interesting choice, but it was cool that she was born on Halloween. This is just a filler pocket. I'll just lift that up. And then that is the necklace I wore for part of the day. This necklace I bought earlier. And then I just spent the day. This is a screen cap actually of a video I was listening to. It's of a YouTuber that I follow called Mr. Davis. He has a lot of like reading creepypastas off of Reddit and stuff. And he has like a really good voice for that. And he posted like a 6-hour video of him reading creepypastas on his YouTube, and this is the thumbnail. And I just sort of played that while I was doing other stuff all day. I found this as just a free printable online, so I printed it up just to use in one of the filler pockets. And then this cartoon from the Oatmeal, which is let's just skip the holidays and have 3 more Halloweens. I'm totally on board with that. And then this page is all just filler. This is just the backs of the paper that I'd used in these pockets. And I thought I'd just leave them because I like this pattern a lot, and I didn't really want to worry about decorating them. It's pretty busy as it is. This one is just sort of a long piece. I just wanted to use those pieces of ephemera that say trick or treat up, so I did it like that. And then just some more decorative filler bits here. And then this is the ending page. Let's get some glare off there. There we go. So again, I just use halves of pieces of paper so I can get more patterns in there. Like I said, I really loved this pattern. I just used up some of the chipboard stickers and stuff. I had this glittered foam magic in my stash from last year. Got it on the SCT sampler. Meant to use it in my October daily last year and didn't, so I thought I'd use it this year. And then on the bottom half here, I just had the 3 leftover journaling cards that I hadn't used yet, so I just put them down here, and I backed the orange ones on black cardstock so that they would stick out from the orange background. And this is the back of the last page. I didn't do anything up top, except I just wrote, okay, bye. And then on the bottom here, I just documented that on November 1st, I did another unexpected Michael's haul because all of a sudden stuff was on 80%. Like, there was never a notification, even when they were on 60% when I was there before. The app said that everything was still 50%. There was never any kind of notification that it went down to 70. And then all of a sudden I check the app before I go to bed on Halloween night, and it's like, Halloween clearance at 80%. So I was able to grab some stuff. I think because they so didn't advertise their paper crafting for Halloween this year, there was a lot left over. Like, I got both of the 12x12 Halloween pads, not the Pinkaboo. I did pick that up at full price in like September because I had read that it was going fast. People were going nuts for it, so I wanted to grab it while I could still find it. It was a good thing I did because I never saw it again. But I was able to get both of the 2 other 12x12s, the Mischief Manor and the Mystic Moon, for like $2.40 each, so even cheaper than when they were on buy one get one. And then I was able to get these for like $1.80 or something. Like, it was just, I got Tim Holtz stuff, which I never get on clearance because they're always gone. But in my store, they had stuff in such a weird setup for the Halloween stuff. Like, the Tim Holtz was not with the rest of the Halloween stuff. It was like around the corner from the Halloween stuff. So, I mean, I lucked out. Their crappy planning of the store worked out for me when I went on clearance. And this is the back pocket. I just have my pamphlet from, oh, it's not folded right, but it's my pamphlet from Louis Blanche. I just put it in this treat bag that I got in Happy Meal, I think, from Shea last year, that I really liked. I mean, it's a little too, I guess, beat up, either from shipping or more likely from my poor storage of it over the last year. So it was a little too beat up to use in a craft, but I still really like it and wanted to keep it, so I'm like, okay, I'll put that in there. And that was my October daily for 2019. It was definitely a different process for me as far as working with the pocket pages. One thing I did like was always knowing what size my photos were going to be. They were either going to be 4x6 or 3x4. So that definitely saved some time as far as guessing. Like last year I had to guess at what size I wanted printed, see if it fit, see if it was too big or too small. This was very straightforward. It's either 4x6 or 3x4. So I did like that part. It was just a little different as far as like embellishing and whatnot. So it was an experience. It was good to do this album again. It took me a little longer to finish and do a video for than I thought I would, but it was good. I was glad to use up a good chunk of that collection. I basically got some stickers and ephemera and like leftover paper scraps to use up soon, hopefully. But I did manage to use the majority of that My Mind's Eye Trick or Treat collection in this album. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please give it a share. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that little bell in the corner to be notified when I next upload a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.